It's been a while.
Hi, Jason. Hi, Greg.
Jason, you're muted. Jason, I don't
Oh,
think I can hear you.
I was saying hi, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Hey, can you all hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh,
We can.
sorry about that.
How's everybody?
Oh, been better.
How's the recovery, by the way?
Slow, but progressing.
Cool, cool. That's good.
And Jason, I missed something.
Oh, I ruptured my Achilles tendon.
That's not good. That'll affect the climbing.
Yes, it does.
How'd you do that?
Climbing.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
Well, it's a circular dependency, right?
Yeah. So who's gonna facilitate this meeting today?
Think of community manager.
I think we decided that was officially not her responsibility.
Jason, you're the only person who has any agenda listed in the issue.
Yeah. Well, I was also hoping people would come with um, some more topics as well.
And do a review of where we are on the spec.
Yeah, that would be good.
What, someone?
I could also, sorry, Greg. So I could also add an agenda to just go over or just give an update for the migration docs I've been working on and you've been reviewing JSON in one. And so you could just I could just also add that as well to the agenda.
Okay, sounds good.
I mean, if we're in the topic of bringing out topics, it might be fun to discuss the Paris conference as well and the JSON schema track, which Benja has been, spearheading. But now we might need to, compensate more of his previous work within ourselves, maybe.
Sounds good. All right, we've got several things to talk about then. I will go first then. I created this issue. Let me share screen. So we had talked about, when we talked about budget stuff, creating a grants process to distribute some funds to, I guess, people who would send in proposals and say, I'm trying to do this thing, and ask for funding. I created an issue with at least an outline of of what we might do. Nobody responded, and at this point, I'm thinking we're probably not in a place where we can put something like this forward. I think it's something that takes a bit of organization that we're clearly not prepared for. So I'm considering like I'm wondering or asking, I guess, should we abandon this idea at least for now, or you know, or try to push it forward? Bona Takashi?
Okay, so for this, Benjamin and I have been working on a mentoring fellowship program that we are looking to cover this grant and process. We are still writing the documentation, and I believe we should like get feedback on this end of week or beginning of next week.
Okay, that sounds great. So maybe we're maybe I'm wrong and we're actually almost ready, even though we weren't ready yet. We're almost there. Any other thoughts on grants?
I don't think that I've actually looked at this particular issue. I remember going through the budget stuff, but I don't remember seeing this one. So I'll have to have a look through it. But I actually think, Jason, that you're right, that I don't know that we're, as a TSC, I don't know that we're to the point yet where we can properly manage something like this. I think it's just a matter of continued, like, the not necessarily continued presence, but just frequency of presence in order to be able to manage something like this.
Yeah, I think it needs like an owner,
Yeah.
somebody to really champion it and make sure that all the steps are happening and all that. I thought about you know, being that person, but the last month and a half have really shown me that like my availability is Swiss cheese. Like there's too many ups and downs that I don't think I can be that person consistently enough. But if Onodikachi can wants to be that person, that sounds like something that could work to me.
Read through the issue and put down my thoughts as well.
Yeah. All right. So I guess maybe next month let's revisit this and see where we're at. And unless anybody has anything else, move on to the next topic. Thinking Greg with the spec update. Oh, Greg, you're muted.
Okay, so I'm now going to share my screen. Let's see what we want to. So we should be able to see the project board now. So
Yeah.
we have just kind of a few things that we had decided that we wanted to try to get in with this. There's still a few things that are left in discussion. I'm not really sure how much of this is really necessary. The pre-release cleanup is definitely one. But maybe the non-canonical identifiers and schema is one that we can pull in. But these other three, I'm not really sure how imperative they are for releasing the spec, and I'm happy to let them go to the next version. But we need to get to a point where we can kick off at least this new era of JSON schema being stable and going with this effectively 1.0 version of JSON schema. Still have a number of PRs that are in review. I don't know that all of them are going to make it through. This one from Austin, which I rewrote, still has a few questions, and it does require Austin's involvement with it because it really is his effort in that, and he has been absent of late. And Jason, I think you were going to have an attempt at the security note one. I don't think that I've seen that PR come through, but I saw that you approved these three, like within the past hour. So most of this, probably a good half of this, the in progress will be moved to done. And look just a little bit as soon as I merge those PRs. And then we can decide what we want to do on the rest of these. The last thing that we definitely need to do is a pre-release cleanup. So just people of the spec team. So people on the spec team, that would be Jason, Juan, myself, Matthew. Yeah. I think that those are the planners of the spec team. We'll go through it with a fine-tooth comb and just make sure that everything is in order before we do a first release. Hopefully, when we do our release, we'll get a lot of feedback about the quality of the spec, and we can actually start addressing those things very specifically. I am anticipating that. I don't know if there's a way that we can do kind of a spec pre-release to put it out to the public to try to get that feedback first before we do officially release it. I think that might be an interesting idea. But I don't know how to go about doing that just yet. But we're getting really close, a lot closer than we've been in a really long time. And it's been 5 years almost since we released a spec, and so it's due.
Yeah. So my my next priority is to do that security topic, and then I'm going to do the full review of the spec. Looking forward to that. Something that occurs to me is that we still don't really have a way to publish our spec, and that's going to be one of our blockers for doing this release.
We had talked about doing the publication just on our website. I don't know how prolific that's going to be. And we'd have to go out on socials and say, hey, this thing is out there. Maybe actually put up a Hacker News post or Reddit post ourselves and do that kind of thing just to let people know, hey, this document now exists. But you know, as is the concern for, or has been the concern about doing this and being independent from IETF, you know, we're not at this stage backed by a standards body, so it'd be interesting to see what that reception is.
Yeah, so like I know we can I think we're expecting to put it on the website. I think what I was getting at more was like it was kind of like styled in a temporary way, like, and not something that matches the website. So I think there's like a, you know, like a design component that has to go into figuring out. And then there's, you know, publishing. Like, I mean, do we just like copy it in from one repo to another, or, you know, or do we automate some sort of connection? Like, there's a lot of logistics before we can just throw it up on the website that we got to figure out.
Follow up to the cleanup issue that to address and discuss the publication of the spec itself. If no other questions, that's me.
No questions, but it sounds very exciting. So that's
I
cool.
think I'm handing it off to you, Juan.
Ooh. Well, I
And
mean,
then
the
you-
only thing,
Yep.
the only thing that I wanted to try to cover, and it's more like a heads up, like any specific action item, is that we know that we are potentially going to have once more the JSON Schema track in December in Paris, and we haven't done much yet. And a lot of that previous work was done by Benja, even coordinating how to get the talks proposal and all of that stuff. So it's more of a heads up that I have no idea how we're gonna make sure that we're on track on those, or what specific things Benja was doing under the hood. Okay, maybe any somebody knows. But if not, yeah, just a heads up that we might need to figure that out, right? And I definitely volunteer myself to try to make it happen. I will be there as well this year. I plan to be there. But I'm a bit on the dark, right? I'm also not sure exactly where to start.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
On the Takashi, I think that conferences falls under your responsibilities. Yeah.
Yes. So Benjamin and I have been working on the conference plan, and by the end of this week, I should create a working group for volunteers also to help with the whole process, and then we are also refining the call for a proposal to make it seamless and all. But yeah, before
Nice.
yeah, yes, before, and let me not say this week, but before this month ends, definitely we'll get all of those sorted out.
Okay, cool. Well, so knowing that everything is on track then, and you're taking care of it, then sounds like it's all resolved then. But yeah, if you need my help for anything, I mean, do let me know. I'm not sure who else from the team is going to be there on that conference, but if there are not going to be many, I mean, I'm happy to do whatever needed.
All right. I think we can move to the next topic then. Blessing.
Okay. So it was just to give an update to say that I've finally added all of the migration paths to the issue we've been working on for quite a while, and I did have an issue because the site was not building. I shared that with Ben Harbour. He has not had the time to look at that. I'm happy to share the URL here because I don't think I need to share my screen for that. So this is it. And so I'm struggling to get the site to build a preview because that would be easy for everyone to review the updated version of what I currently made to it. And you could see the history of me trying to triangulate and do everything, but I did not have much success with that. But just to say that so currently all of the migration drafts now have migration guides and tutorials alongside them. And so JSON one, you could just take a look now and just give feedback to it. So whatever feedback I take in from this would now be like a central or a final push on resolving all of that so we can move this to the next stage.
Sounds good. I'll take a look.
Okay. That's
me
it. Thank you. Jason, you can take over. Yeah.
All right. I think that was all the things that that people brought up at the beginnings. Anybody have any other topics they want to bring up?
I guess I would have a question for the Paris event to see if is the community currently considering sponsorship or that would be drafted in when the announcement will be made for the conference.
Juan, do you know anything about that?
I do not, I'm afraid.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a good question, and yeah, we should have the answer. And I think, I mean, it's also related, I think, to one of the first topics that we were discussing, right? On the grants, I think there is definitely, I don't think we can say that we're like 100% organized, given priorities, and a lot of us are like working on a million things at once. But I think we need to, come up with a plan to be more on top of things, and yeah, and know all of that stuff.
All right. Any other questions that people have or topics they want to discuss? All right. I think then we're done today.
Cool. By the way, just one minor thing for Blessing. You wanted our reviews. Do you mind posting the link to the PR at least on the open community meeting like notes, or at least sending over on Slack or something? Otherwise, it might get
Okay.
lost.
I'll send it over on Slack now.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
I think Bala is talking actually. I think.
Oh,
What is it? Or
Yeah.
are you too low, or you're not? Okay.
Yeah, one. Can
oh,
you guys
sorry.
hear me?
Yeah, you're very quiet.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
It is very low, but I think we can.
Okay, I'll try to speak louder. I wanted to discuss something that came up during the work with Jesus. So, like I was trying to use a YAML file and was discussing why people use or thinking why people use YAML instead of JSON, because YAML is like superset of JSON. So something that came up where I was discussing with Juan as well, like we should be promoting JSON more stuff. We should be trying to migrate people from YAML to JSON. So maybe one or two community posts where people can use JSON instead of YAML can help us. Was it adequate?
Could somebody who can maybe hear him better repeat his question?
So I think, I mean, it's also a bit low, but if I got it correctly, and I think that was coming out of a discussion of one of my repos, an issue on my repo. I think what Bala is mostly talking about, which I'm also covering a bit on the video course, by the way, that I'm gonna be launching sometime soon, is like people tend to get confused about the relationship between JSON and YAML, right? And why they should be using what on other, and then I've seen some misconception of people thinking that there is another standard called YAML schema, and that's like a competitor to JSON schema for YAML. And I think that it's a lot of confusion in many different areas, and I think that's what Bara is kind of touching on. that we might want to address, for example, in a post, right, in a community post. I think that Bala was saying, like a blog post or something like that, which I think that would be cool if somebody volunteered to write it out.
JSON schema is supposed to be operable in any JSON compatible language. So if you use YAML in a JSON compatible way, you should be fine. You just have to parse YAML instead of parsing JSON.
Well, but I think that's in my experience what people don't necessarily understand, right? So maybe like a post that is like discussing just that and maybe ranks, somewhat good on Google might just help a lot of people that say, oh, should I use YAML schema, right, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we need to discourage people from using YAML. I mean, that like JSON schema shouldn't care, as Greg was saying. But
API is primarily YAML anyway.
yeah, but I can see it making sense to I guess have a blog post specifically about how YAML and JSON schema relate to each other. To, like Juan said, dispel some myths. I think a good next step would be to maybe create an issue in the website repo. I guess requesting a blog post for on that topic, and then maybe somebody will pick it up, or maybe Balakrishna, maybe you'll write it. All right, thanks.
Cool. Yeah, but I think, I mean, all of those little things, the educational stuff that seems obvious, I think, mainly to people coming to these calls, right, on this group, but yeah, there's a ton of crazy confusion out there, so always +1 for these things.
Yeah. All right, then I think we'll call it the end here, and thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next time.
Cool. Bye-bye.
Everyone.
Bye.